All right, thank you, Paul, and welcome everybody here to the introduction of the newest basketball coach at Colorado State University, Niko Medved. Great to have Niko back. Of course, spent 6 seasons as an assistant coach at Colorado State, the last 5 as a head coach at Furman for 4, and last year at Drake. And great to have Niko back. Niko, we'll get to you in a second, but first, Joe, what made Niko Medved the right guy right here at Colorado State?
Yeah, you know, we went through a competitive process, had a lot of really good candidates involved, and you know, you do the process for a reason, and Niko just was remarkable in every aspect of it. And what attracted me to him, obviously, you know, not first and foremost on it, but his history with the program. You know, the fact that he participated on the coaching staff when we were at our last 2 NCAA appearances was big for me. But even more than that is what he's done since. And then the person that he is, the passion he brings to his job, the mission that he serves as an educator, the idea that he wants to use basketball to transform the lives of young men, the fact that he wants to be a strong campus partner, and then too, I think the piece that we're looking for as well is someone that would really work hard to engage the community, and I think we see some visible examples of that right now. So
yeah, absolutely. Listen, you guys used a search firm to try to vet candidates and try to get a pool together. Why use the search firm, and how was the interest in this job? Because I know even I got a lot of phone calls, people reaching out, hey, what's going on with Colorado State?
Yeah, there was a lot of interest. A lot of people self-selected, sitting head coaches, a lot of assistants. Why use a search firm? I guess why in particular we used Eddie Fogler. Eddie is a former NCAA basketball coach. Collegiate coach, retired now, and he's been in the search business for maybe 12 years or so, maybe a little bit longer, and just brings a real strength of knowledge about the college game. He watches a lot of college basketball, both live and on film. He has great relationships with many coaches, even still today. And so he can help you navigate the process. He can help you kind of qualify if people have the elements that you're looking for as far as criteria for success, and just does a nice job of counseling too, but not over directing. You know, so Eddie never came in the same room with us. I mean, all the contact we had with Eddie was over the phone, but he did a phenomenal job and really helps line folks up and make sure that, you know, this is the job that they're most interested in, so that we can make a qualified decision.
Well, Niko, congratulations. What was the feeling like this morning when you wake up knowing you're the head men's basketball coach at Colorado State?
I mean, wow. You know, we got in about midnight last night, and this morning the sun was up, and I'm on the top floor of the Hilton, and I opened the shades, and there's the A and the Horsetooth Canyon and the stadium and the sun, and it just hit me. This is amazing, and it's really surreal for me, and everybody knows how special this place was to me and Erica, and it's just sinking in, you know, as time goes by. But all I can say is, wow, I'm so excited.
Yeah, a lot of old faces, some old friends that certainly have been in contact with already. This job, this Colorado State basketball program, why was it so attractive to you?
Well, there's everything about it. You know, people who know some of the best personal and professional memories I have in life happened here in Fort Collins and Colorado State. I obviously have deep roots here, friends, former players, the memories that I talked about. Erica has her master's from CSU. As I walked through Moby today, I'm just having these flashbacks of the huge crowds, the energy, students waiting in line to get into the games. And you know, the memory I have of that Orange Out game against San Diego State, that was one of the best college basketball atmospheres I've ever been a part of. And just the fact that I've seen it here at its best, I've seen what it can be, it's just amazing. And now you look around Fort Collins and you look at the opportunity we have, and it's in just a phenomenal position moving forward. And so everything about it, it's just a no-brainer for me.
Yeah. What kind of culture are you going to try to create here at Colorado State? Obviously, you're going to be coming in with your own philosophies.
You know, I mean, culture to me is just the collective attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors of everyone in your organization. And everybody plays a part in your culture and what they do every day and how they act. We want everybody to have a culture of trying to be their best, to engage everybody here in the community and all the partners we work with to help us become our best. And that's essentially what we strive for. And I tell you what, it's a people business. You get great people engaged, and I've learned really quick as a head coach, if you have really good people around you and you have really good players who have high character, they make you look like you know what you're doing, and it's about surrounding yourself with good people. And there's so many good people here, and there's so many great opportunities, and it's my job to create a culture where everybody feels a part of it. Everybody sees how special this is and our vision, and they're just dying to help us get where we want to get to.
Joe, people have reached out to me yesterday, this morning, asking me about Niko Medved. And obviously, Niko, you and I have had a chance to work together here in the past. And so number one, he's a heck of a basketball coach. But number two, you're going to get a guy who's about as genuine as they come. What about Niko's character was so attractive to you?
Well, that was absolutely clear from the first time I met him that character to him matters. And he spent a lot of time, most of his adult life, preparing for this opportunity. And so it was clear that he's got the right vision for the program, that he has the right constructs as it relates to what's important to him as far as core values. So I had no hesitation in bringing him on board to lead this program.
All right, Niko, you had a chance to meet with the team just moments ago, and the team is here. What was the message to the crew when you got together with them in the locker room?
I mean, some real simple things, and I think at the end of the day, change can be difficult, when you go through it, and everybody's got their own story and difficulties or challenges that you can go through with change. It's the same for me, and I think that giving everybody a chance to have a fresh start, a new approach, and to let things go and to let's move forward. And I think that's what we talked about. And it's my job to earn their trust and respect. Just because I have the head coach label, it doesn't mean that I automatically get their respect and trust. I have to earn that from them, but they got to earn it from me too. And it's a two-way street. It's a partnership. And just want those guys to be like, hey, this is a fresh start, and I'm really excited to get to know each of these guys individually and see what we can do moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely, and it's a good group of kids over here that I know deserve the best, and certainly they're going to get that with you. Give me an idea. Where are you as a coach right now, sitting in here today at this press conference, compared to the coach you were 5 years ago when you left Colorado State to become the head coach at Furman?
I mean, I'd just like to think I'm better in every way, experiences, everything. And I've been able to, the experience I had here was, invaluable to me. And, having gone through the transition that we did and being a part of it in every way, but then doing the same thing as the leader, as the head coach, and going through that at Furman, and heck, another challenge at Drake, and those things that I've gone through, I've just drawn on all the great experiences I've had, and I feel like I've learned so much, and I feel like I'm more poised than ever because of all those experiences to come here and be the coach at Colorado State and do the job. And so I've learned so much, but the experience that I've had at those two places and the experience here has just been phenomenal.
Joe, you talked about it a little bit, but obviously there's a lot of criteria in picking a coach. But you said one of the added bonuses was his relationship and experience here at Colorado State. And that is important, isn't it?
It is. It absolutely can be. It wasn't the primary criteria that we were trying to evaluate as we talked to people, but the fact that he knows what's meaningful to this place is important. The fact that he's had experience living here, he and Erica, it was clear that they wanted to be here, and without any hesitation, without trying to qualify, sell, counsel them, get them to understand what kind of a place this was, they understood it immediately, and you could tell that they wanted to be a part of this community again.
Yeah, absolutely. And you had the chance to recruit so many great players to Colorado State. You think of the Andy Ogedays, the Pierce Hornungs, Pierce in the house here today. Dorian Green obviously goes down as one of the great all-time Rams. I imagined you have been flooded with phone calls, text messages from former Rams that are really excited to have you back.
I just want to take a second to apologize to all of them for not getting back to him yet. As you can imagine, it's It's crazy. It really has. And you know what you realize is that's kind of what you do it for, and the relationships you have with players, and just the outpouring that I've had from these guys, so many of them coming back, and not just the players at Colorado State, but players at Furman that are happy for you and reaching out, and that's just such a cool part of it, and I can't wait to talk to these guys, hopefully to see a lot of them individually, give them a hug, a high five, and I'm excited for those guys to really feel like they're a part of this program and to tell their story to these young men and to all the young men that we're going to have coming in our program, because they did it, the right way, and they've lived it, and they've seen it at its best, and I think that story really matters.
One of the things that the areas you really excelled at when you were at Colorado State, and I know the same can be said at Furman, at Drake, is your ability to recruit. And here at Colorado State, it's important to recruit and stay. I know you have great ties recruiting here to the state of Colorado, don't you?
We do, and I've been kind of all over whether it's West, Southeast, right? East, Midwest, overseas, and so you do, and recruiting's the lifeblood of your program. And one thing I think my philosophy is you don't recruit players, you recruit people. And you see talented players, but it's about recruiting talented people too, who are highly competitive, high character, that love basketball, that want to be a part of something bigger than themselves. And we do, and I'm really excited. I mean, how can you not sell this place? I mean, this is just a phenomenal place, and you attract who you are. And I think we have a great place, and we're going to do a great job recruiting.
Yeah, then you look at the Mountain West Conference, and again, multiple bid league here again this season. There's talk about Gonzaga coming into the conference. This is a conference I know that has been right up there at the best of the quote-unquote mid-majors, but this is a conference I know you probably believe it's going to get a lot better.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. I think that's what you want. You want your league to be strong, and if you're not strapped, that's what you want. You want to compete against the best. That's what you work your whole life for, to do that. And this is a highly competitive league, great coaches, great universities, can only get stronger in my opinion. And so that's what you sign up for. And that's really, really attractive to me. And I think all those things just make this situation better.
All right, a couple more thoughts here for Niko and Joe. We'll open it up to questions from the media. This is a CSU program that has great success, and it's right there too. But you've had success of building programs too. What you did at Furman, again, increasing the win total every year. You were a game away from the NCAA tournament 2 years ago. What you did at Drake. What has been the key for you when you have built programs? Obviously, this is a program that is right there, but the programs you have built in the past.
I think it's, to be honest, it starts with people, and it starts with having the right people on board, and having your staff and your players and the support system around that, and because that's what this is about. It's about people, and it starts with that. And I think having the ability to do that and surround yourself with talented people who will help challenge you and help challenge, the vision, and that's huge. And finding ways to engage everybody. And man, you look at, there's so many familiar faces here in this room, and making the community and the university feel like they're really a part, and the students, of what you're doing every day. And then I think the other thing is just staying steadfast in your vision of knowing what this is going to be. And you go through ups and downs, you go through challenges, but what they'll find out about me is we're going, and we're going to do this, and this is going to happen. We'll fight through every challenge that we have. We're going to find our opportunities, and we're just going to keep doing this thing, and eventually we're going to get there.
Niko, I'm excited for the fact that you've been here. You understand what kind of place this can be when it comes to the sport of men's basketball. You brought up the Orange out in 2013. This place was rocking. It was John Octius had the big dunk at the end of the game, and you understand Moby Madness and what this place can be.
It's awesome, and it's funny. In my home office, I still have several pictures, of games, and the one that stands out to me, Dorian Green hit the game-winning shot, and Colton was rubbing his head, and I've got that in a big shot in my office. And there's so many memories. I remember, early on in our career, when kind of a game that felt like we got over the hump. We beat CU at home, and the crowd stormed the court, and I've still got a picture of that. I felt like that was really a changing moment in our program, and you just felt the energy build and the momentum build, and it is such an awesome place. The fans are on top of you. They feel like they're a part of the action. The students get into it. it's a neat place.
Niko, so happy to have you back. I'm looking forward to working with you. Congratulations to you, Erica, the family. It's exciting times, no question. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bryan.
Okay. All right. We're going to open up questions to the media. I'm going to step aside here, and we'll give these guys a chance to ask some questions.
Had to be tough a little bit to leave Drake just 1 year in. That couldn't have been an easy decision. What was the overriding factor that made you decide it was worth kind of leaving that to come here?
Just everything. Those are tough, and that's not, but this, I mean, everybody who knows me, peers in the profession, and I mean, my staff will tell you, you know, when we talk about these things, and they would tell you, if I didn't ask them, what does Coach ever talk about, you know, jobs that, and Colorado State was right there. And it's just, this is such a special place to me for so many reasons, like I described. And when this opportunity presented itself and the timing all came about the way it did, there was just no way at the end of the day that I couldn't do this, and I wanted to do it. And when it came about and I realized it became a reality for me, I mean, I was shaking. I mean, I was so excited to come here, and I couldn't wait to get on the plane and get here and get started. And so that was easy.
I guess one of the things, you've obviously got a lot of experience. You've coached under a lot of different people in a lot of different league systems. How do you envision building your team? What style of team do you think fans are going to expect to see from your Colorado State teams?
Well, hopefully a winning style. That's what I would say. A winning style, and I think that, you know, fans will see the way our teams will play. They'll play hard. They'll play with passion. I mean, we something that my teams are known for. We get a missed shot or a turnover. I mean, we work on transition offense every day. I mean, we really want to get out and attack and spread the floor. And my teams get back on defense. We challenge teams. We make it difficult for them to score on us. I want teams who share the ball, who move the ball, who play unselfishly. And I think that fans can see that. They can see when teams are playing with a certain energy and they're sharing the ball and they're playing together and they're playing for each other. And that's what I want it to look like, and it will look like that.
Niko, you kind of mentioned, talking to the guys, earning trust with them. Do you feel like you have to kind of do a little bit of re-recruiting with some of them because a couple of guys have already kind of maybe looked at the possibility of transferring?
I probably do. I mean, like I told them, like, why would they trust me? They don't know me. Do you know what I mean? Why would these guys respect me right now? They don't know me. And so that's my job, to get to know them and for them to get to know me. And if this is going to work like I think it can, I mean, we all have to be open-minded. And they wanted them to be sure that I am, and I sure as heck hope they are. And I think they are. I think we had a really good conversation that way. But that's reality. I'm walking in the door. I don't know these guys, you know, that way. And so that part has to take time. But I'm confident that it can. They'll find out very quickly. I'm a very genuine person, open and honest. I tell it like I see it, and I expect the same from these guys. And so I think that process will work well.
You know, given that you did, spend so many years here as an assistant, do you feel like you can really hit the ground running as opposed to somewhere, your previous two stops maybe?
For sure. I mean, you feel like you know so many people and places in the community, kind of an idea of how we need to recruit, how we need to engage, what works. You have a familiarity with the league. I mean, all those things. I don't think there's any question about that you feel like it puts you in position to hit the ground running, and we need to hit the ground running.
Any thoughts on staff members, assistants, et cetera? I think I had heard that you might be bringing a couple assistants with you.
Again, I told you probably the most important thing that we will do is staff and staff in your players. And so we're going to have great people here. I won't comment on that yet, but yeah, I mean, there'll be some people. Hopefully, we're going to start to make some of those decisions quickly moving forward. But I can promise you, the people here will love my staff and who ends up working for us.
Niko, you talked about the culture that you want to create within the teams that you coach. What is it about these guys that you've seen already that make you believe that will be an easy transition for you?
The honest answer is I don't know yet, and they don't know either. I mean, they don't know me. We haven't been on the court together. We haven't spent, time together. I mean, my sense of it is when I was in the locker room talking to people. I mean, they seem like, hey, they got to be ready to move on. We got to be ready to move on. We got to be ready to move forward, and I know I am, and I'm sure they are too. And so, but we haven't really had an opportunity to do that yet. All I can say is, like, I'm open-minded. I'm ready to get to work, and if they're ready to do the same, we're not going to have any issues.
You kind of mentioned, excuse me. You mentioned wanting to play and beat the best as in regards to the Mountain West. How do you view kind of non-conference scheduling and the ways that can fit in with a league like the Mountain West to build a resume?
Well, I think at the you just said it, resume. I think at the end of the day, we want to get to the point where we can have a resume out there that we can be an at-large team in the NCAA tournament. I mean, that's what it comes down to. And, the last 2 years that I was here, 12, 13, that's what we were. We were an at-large team. And so how you start to build that moving forward, you have to do that with that in mind. And scheduling is challenging. You do these things in advance, trying to predict what a team or how your schedule is going to look, and it doesn't always work out the way that you want. But ultimately, that's the goal. It's to put a resume forward that you do your job, and you want to win a conference tournament in Vegas. But if you don't, you have a resume that can get you into the NCAA tournament.
How difficult was the decision to leave after one season at Drake, or was it something where you got the offer here and it was an easy choice?
Well, I mean, I said that before to Kelly. It's people there are phenomenal. They've got a great institution. And, the timing is unfortunate, but this was a dream scenario for me. And everybody who knows me knows that. And there was just no way I could, at the end of the day, turn down this opportunity. And you don't get to choose those things in life. You work as hard as you can for this opportunity, and it comes. And man, the key is to seize it, and that's what I'm doing. And I'm so excited to be here, and I just can't wait to move forward.
Niko, welcome back to Fort Collins. When we talked to Joe a couple of weeks ago, he talked about a coach that was going to be active in the community. What are your plans in that regards?
That's a great question. I mean, I think it helps. I think we have relationships with so many of these folks already, and I think you can see with my personality that I'm pretty open. I enjoy engaging. I think they'll find our program open. I mean, people want to come to practice. They want to know what's going on. I mean, I like to keep those things open. We find unique ways in our round ball club and different strategies in our community to get people involved, and I think that's a no-brainer. And you have to enjoy that piece of it as a coach. That's something that has to become genuine to you. And I think that they'll find that out, that we need people. We need the community. This is such a great place. We need Fort Collins involved in everything we're doing.
Question for Joe. Hiring a coach who spent one season at his previous university and jumped to a new job, I think a lot of people might think, oh, well, how are you going to keep this guy around? And when you sort of address that issue in talks with Niko, what makes you comfortable that you have a coach that isn't just going to go to the next greener pasture, I suppose?
Those are difficult, right? I mean, and just the way intercollegiate athletics works on the administrative side sometimes, and certainly on the coaching side, you're faced with some hard decisions. But just the compelling reasons that he's already stated, I think the short list that would make sense for Niko if he wanted to transition to another place is very, very small. I mean, when you come to a place like Fort Collins, especially after having experience in the place, I think you're making a very informed decision of where you want to put your roots in for a while. Yeah.
Niko, when it comes to recruiting, certainly there's a whole lot of reliance around the country on transfers now, junior college guys. That's never really been your forte, but is that something you have to do more of, or do you envision building primarily through high school recruits?
I think you have to do all of that. I think, for example, if you look at our teams here at CSU, we had a great mix, I think, of four-year players and some great transfers, and I think it's the same thing here. I mean, I'd love to find a nice blend of four-year players that, really help you build your culture and investment. And transfers are a huge part of this, and it's all about, it's not about transfers for as much as it is, are they the right fit? Are they the right people? Do they want to be here? Do they believe in my vision and our vision? Are they willing to work together collaboratively the way we need to be successful? And I think that's the bigger question, as opposed to if they're transfers or not. And we have a pretty clear-cut idea of what we're looking for, but I think you need to have a blend.
You talked about the turnarounds that you engineered at Furman and at Drake last year. Does a similar turnaround that's in the works here, is that maybe a little more comfortable for you now?
I think it's a good question. I don't know. I mean, I'm very comfortable here. I mean, I can feel that already. I'm very comfortable here in Fort Collins and CSU and in Colorado, and I sure hope so. And I think you have to have a genuine passion and excitement for where you are and what you're doing, and I do here, and that makes it easier. And I'm just ready to roll up my sleeves and there'll be challenges. There will. That's the way this works. That's the way life works. But we're ready to meet those head on.
Niko, you sort of addressed this already, but last night putting the statement out on Twitter, just talking to the Drake fans, I would imagine, just about the unfortunate timing and the emotional decision of this. What maybe prompted you to put out that message? And maybe what would you say to those Drake fans who might feel a little bit bitter about just how it went down?
I think I said it in that message. These are tough things. They're emotional things, and I completely understand that. I do. And what I just said is those are great people there, and it's a great school, and that wasn't, again, the timing was unfortunate, but this is Colorado State for me. This is, and again, people I think who know me and know me close, that this is, you don't get to choose timing sometimes with opportunities. That's not the way life works. And you work your whole life for something, and it means this much, and it was something that I did, and now it's time to move forward, and time heals everything.
Were there any other choices, or was this your obvious choice?
This was my obvious choice.
Joe, not trying to take away from the excitement of the day or anything like that, but we've heard there was a lot of pressure from within the athletic department to highly consider a minority candidate. Given the current landscape of CSU, are you content with the diversity and how CSU has, embraced that?
Justin, I am. We every time we have an opening in the department, coaching or otherwise, we work hard to get a diverse candidate pool together. And then ultimately we want people to compete for the opportunity, and we make the best choice. We're one of the very few departments that has a senior associate athletics director that's charged with diversity and inclusion and trying to make sure that we're always thinking in that way. So I feel like in this case we worked hard to create a competitive pool, and we made the absolute best choice for us.
Man, yeah.
Niko, you did get to spend one season on Larry Eustachy's staff. Your last year here as the lone holdover. Just what do you remember about that season and your impressions of Larry at that time?
I remember winning a lot of games. I remember winning a lot of games. I remember that was as good of a team as I've been around. Just the people on that team and who they were and how together they were, and the talent, just how much I enjoyed them. It was one of the best years, of my life. And again, we just had a phenomenal team. So many memories. We go into the NCAA tournament and we won and ended up losing. Well, they're not the national champions anymore. That's a whole nother story. I shouldn't go there, but it was just it was a great year. And then I was fortunate enough after that year to get the head job at Furman, and so I just had great memories of that season.
Any other questions?
Am I allowed to take this off the? What are we doing next here?
It's all you.
So I want to thank everybody and Tony, Frank, and Joe, and everybody in my family for this opportunity. And I sat here, and I think I told Joe, you're going to think I'm crazy here, but I told Joe in the interview process that I don't know who you're talking to. I said, but I would find it hard to believe that you had another coach and his wife who could sing the CSU fight song.
That's true.
And I came in here, and I'm looking back, and I see Jerry Rice back there. And Jerry, would it be crazy for us to do that here? Let's do it. Stalwart Ram team on to the goal. Tear the Cowboys line asunder as down the field we thunder. Knights of the green and gold, fight with all your might. Fight on, you stalwart Ram team. Fight, fight, fight. Go Rams! Yeah.